The Major League Baseball hot stove is heating up, and rightfully so, because we are getting close to spring training and pitchers and catchers reporting here in the next 3 weeks or so. And I know if you're like me, I just want to kind of find out who my team is going to be, who's going to be on the Mets. And I'm sure if you've got a team that you're cheering for, you're wanting to know exactly the same thing. So, what I want to do is I want to go over a couple of recent signings from the last couple of days and then we'll get into some of the rumors that we have. So as you come on in, please hit the like and subscribe button. We are YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel covering baseball and football. So we appreciate you being here today. All right, so a couple of different signings that went down. Tim Anderson, formerly of the Chicago White Sox, and he had a down season or a couple of down seasons in a row. He signed a minor league deal with the Los Angeles Angels yesterday, and so he'll try to work his way onto the team in preseason this year. So you've got that, and I'm trying to look see if there's any details. There's usually not. Usually it's like minor league deals are usually like a 1 year deal, kind of a chance. He's a former batting champion, and he had a great start to his career, but just fell off drastically. So we'll see if he can make any sort of comeback there. So it's Tim Anderson with the Los Angeles Angels. He was with the Marlins last year. All right, the other Paul Sewald signed with the Cleveland Guardians on a 1 year, $7 million deal yesterday as well, and he also then will pair with Emmanuel Clase. It'll give him another reliever who has the ability to. So if Clase has pitched too many games in a row, you've got Sewald as a nice. I think more teams should definitely consider doing this, going with the option. You have your main closer, but have a guy who has had closing responsibilities in his life, and I think that's a really good option. Good evening, Savage Batman. Good evening, Vitalik. Thank you guys for being part of the channel. And then the other big signing, and this one was from earlier, just a few hours ago, I think it was announced. Jurickson Profar has signed with the Atlanta Braves, 3 years and $42 million. So the Braves are not giving up on the season. They're still looking for players to sign. So you'll have an outfield there: Michael Harris the second, Ronald Acuna Jr., and Jurickson Profar. So those are the bigger name signings from the last couple of days. There's lots of all sorts of like little minor league deals, but some bigger name players going on. All right, so those are the three biggest signings that I have from like yesterday and today. And of course, if there's any breaking news, we'll try to catch that while we are here as well. And then want to go over some rumors. I saw this one earlier today. Dylan Cease and is basically different teams are reaching out and trying to figure out if they could figure out a deal with the Padres for Dylan Cease. There's lots of rumors that Dylan Cease is on the trade market, and among those teams, and a team that seems to like make a splash every now and then with either like a big trade or free agent signing. Minnesota Twins are one of the teams rumored to have interest in Dylan Cease, but I would imagine that there's quite a few teams that are probably interested if he actually is available. Yeah, Jonathan, Pete leaving feels like like Tom Seaver getting traded. Yeah, I mean it's maybe not quite as bad because the Mets did offer him a deal, so and he turned it down. And I know, but it's gonna if that's the way it goes, we're gonna get into Pete Alonso rumors here in just a little bit as well. All right, and then Alex Bregman is another name. That's a name that's floated around in Mets camps as well. But rumors are stating that, and this is a report by Anthony Franco saying that the Astros are still in on Bregman, would like to keep him, and would like to have him still be around, which is interesting because a little while ago all the story was Bregman was done in Houston, but it sounds now like the Astros are leaving the door open. And I think as players start to come off the board, that teams are just like, well, depth never hurts. Never hurts to have that extra player, somebody else that's available. And so they have Isaac Paredes and Christian Walker, both of them have come on to the team. And um, so a lot of people thought, well, then Bregman's on the out, but maybe not. Maybe not. So you got some rumors there on that. All right. And then I wanted to read this. This is an article from Dara McDonald regarding Pete Alonso and the Blue Jays. So the Pete Alonso Blue Jay rumors continue to swirl. Pretty much that's the main team other than the Mets that you hear Alonso being tied to. Yeah, the Mets can't trade Pete Alonso because they don't have a contract with him. Pete is a free agent. So the Red Sox just need to throw enough money his way and he might take it. So I'm going to read um well, I'll read the summary that is here that New York Newsday is also reporting similar things, but um anyway, here's the article. The Blue Jays have been known for a while to have interest in free agent first baseman Pete Alonso. Andy Martino reports today that talks between the two sides are advancing, though he cautions that nothing is done yet and can't be certain a deal will be completed. Though nothing is done yet, it'll be quite an interesting offseason pivot for the Jays if they could get the deal over the line for the first few months of the winter. The club was defined by coming up just short in the pursuit of free agents like Juan Soto, Max Fried, Corbin Burns, and Roki Sasaki. When combined with last winter's near miss on Shohei Ohtani, I don't ever think that was a near miss on Shohei Ohtani. By the way, I I just don't think that I don't think Shohei was going anywhere but Los Angeles ever. I think every other communication was merely leveraged to make sure that Shohei got the largest deal he could possibly get. The volume of murmuring decreased somewhat in recent days as the Jays signed outfielder Anthony Santander to provide lineup with a power boost. But even after that deal, it didn't seem as though the Jays were done. They reportedly still had payroll space and had been connected to players like Alonso, Yerkes, Profar, who we announced just signed with the Braves, and Max Scherzer. If Alonso is ultimately brought north of the border along Santana, the two would make for fairly similar additions. Both players have power as their clear best trait, with their other contributions a bit more muted. So Alonso has clubbed 226 home runs over the past 6 seasons, which puts him second only to Aaron Judge for that span, despite the huge powers lingered unsigned in free agency. So that's the latest that we have on um, the Pete Alonso rumors with the Blue Jays. So kind of interesting. Uh, not seeing a ton of progress on it, and again, all this stuff, all these rumors, a lot of this is just leverage. It's leaked by one camp or the other camp. You know, maybe it's Pete Alonso's camp leaking out about the Blue Jays trying to get the Mets to up their offer. So there's lots of games that go on with all of this, and so you have to take everything that you read with a grain of salt. And I can't tell you how many times over the years I've heard rumors, and then afterwards it comes out, and the team's like, "Yeah, we were never even in serious discussions." But I would expect to see here, once if you just start seeing one or two names come off the board every day. One other update: Ryan Presley here. He has not agreed to waive his no trade clause as of yet, even though teams are interested, including the Cubs and the Astros. Presley has a full no trade clause, and so he basically has the power. If he gets traded anywhere, he can basically nix any trade deal. Ooh, that's a rumor. I like that, Jonathan. The new Mets road jersey being released on Saturday will be powder blue. That's cool. I'll maybe try to go live on Saturday when that gets released. So at least it can be cool. It could be also really bad. Depends on how they do it. Shohei should be with the Red Sox. Every team wants Shohei for sure. Every team. Let's see. And this was a couple days ago. We did a video on this already about the Mets signing AJ Minter, 2-year, $22 million. He's lefty, out of the bullpen. I guess it's still technically pending a physical based on this article, but that was kind of one of the key pickups for the Mets. So that's what we've got. I don't know if you guys have any other rumors, but that's basically the basics of what we're seeing. There's still a lot of players not yet signed. So a couple of places if you're wanting to follow along. Of course, Twitter's a great place. You can follow some of the guys. Um, there's a link of one of the websites that I used for some of this research here tonight because I don't have time to stay on top of all of it. MLB trade rumors. And again, every website is 100% just like it's still speculation. Everything is still speculation, and sources are sometimes good, but sometimes they're not. And you have to kind of take everything that you read with a grain of salt. Are you a Red Sox fan, Savage? I know you're a Cowboys fan, but are you a Red Sox fan? Okay. Yeah, I feel like the Red Sox haven't made that big splash for a couple of years. Really, it feels like they've been down ever since Mookie Betts left. So, and now you've got the Los Angeles Super Team. So, anyway, that's about it. I'm not seeing any other crazy trade rumors. There's some relievers. Clayton Kershaw is still available. So I don't know if he would do that. I wonder if Kershaw would consider. Probably not. Mets, Knicks, Giants, Rangers. Okay, so you've got kind of the classic New York. So I'm Mets and Dolphins and Miami Hurricanes, and I don't really follow too much hockey or basketball, but if I had to pick a basketball team, it would either be the Nets or the Timberwolves. Those are the two basketball teams I've seen the most games of, and then for hockey, probably Minnesota Wild, because again, it'd either be the Wild or the Devils. So it would be one of those two. So that was my life of growing up in New Jersey, and then living out in basically western Wisconsin and northern Minnesota. So in the same way that I follow the Twins kind of offhanded a little bit, I've been to more Twins games than anyone. I've probably been to 50 plus Twins games in my life. When I was in college, I'd go to Twins games pretty much once a week. And even throughout the summer, I would just go to like at least one Twins game a week. There's one year, I don't know what year it was, 2001 maybe, something like that. I basically lived at the Dome. So if I was GM of the Cowboys, who would I hire? Deion Sanders. That's the only hire. I would not have fired McCarthy unless I knew who I was going to hire. So, but that's that. So anyway, that's basically it. I don't really have too much else. So, but stay tuned. We're going to try to do some more of these updates, and of course, anytime there's breaking Mets news, we'll try to get on for that. And but just trying to keep an eye on the biggest name players. So there are still lots of big name players out there, and players who are available for either short-term deals. Someone like Kershaw, or Max Scherzer. Let's go Mets, Raul. Absolutely. What is your take on? And by the way, too, Jonathan, you too. What's your you guys think that there's any chance of Pete Alonso coming back? I know Jonathan seems like you're pretty much done, but Raul, do you think Pete is going to find his way back to Citi Field this year for like a 3-year deal, maybe with some opt-outs? My gut still says more likely than not that he comes back. That's just what my gut says. But I don't know. We can hope. We can dream. It's been a long time since 1986. Let's yeah. Or he overplayed his hand and now he kind of got himself into a pickle where this is kind of my take on it. I think he wants to be a Met, but he overplayed his hand. He wants to make the most money that he can, of course. He's a good businessman. He wants to maximize his earnings, but I think he wanted to do it with the Mets. And his thought process was, well, let me the team loyalty and let me the strength of a couple of years. And he bet on himself and the bet didn't quite pay off. So I do have a video up on the channel of my letter to Pete Alonso, my open letter to Pete Alonso. So if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you check that. We are on the way. I don't know why my phone keeps doing that. Keep like I don't even know what I'm trying to get to here. Yeah. So, well, thank you guys for the subs. That got us over the 50 subscribers, which means we can also do some vertical live streams. And so we'll be doing some football coverage over this weekend as well. Appreciate you guys on that. And yeah, that's basically what I have for tonight. So thank you so much. We are YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel, and we'll be covering baseball and football through the whole season, and definitely be ramping up the baseball coverage with football season just about over here. So appreciate you all. Thank you for hanging out, and have an awesome night.